If you think for a minute that Elon Musk isn't going to look at Social Security and Medicare, to look at it, the great disruptor, if you think he's not going to look at those numbers and look at how he can cut it, well, then I can sell you a bridge. Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes, and if you're paying attention to the news today, you can't help but see all the coverage regarding the trade war that Donald J. Trump started with our trading partners, Canada, Mexico, and of course, China. And yes, it is all over the news. We know that this trade war will impact or should impact the what we pay at the pump. It's going to impact what we pay at the grocery store, and of course, it will impact a lot of other aspects in our life, things that we're going to be buying. But I think the real news isn't the trade war, although certainly this is serious. Certainly, we got to worry about the increasing costs that economists are saying it's going to impact us. And certainly we need to be aware of that and be concerned about it. But I think the trade war news blast diverts our attention from what I think is the real news. And the real news is that Elon Musk's team now has access to Treasury payments, to the Treasury's payment system. I think this is the real news because, as we all know, Elon Musk is famous for being a disruptor. He loves disrupting. He feels he can go into any kind of an industry, and he certainly has done it with the electric vehicle industry, but he feels like he can go into any industry and disrupt it. And now he has ingratiated himself with Donald J. Trump. Of course, that $290 million investment he made supporting Donald J. Trump's presidential campaign, certainly that had an impact on on ingratiating himself with our president. But regardless of all that, now Elon Musk, the great disruptor, the man who wants to go to Mars, the man now has access to the Treasury payment system. And that, my friends, that is frightening. It's frightening for a lot of folks out there who are concerned about Social Security. A lot of people who are getting Social Security right now. A lot of folks who are going to be getting Social Security, applying for Social Security in the near future. Certainly, they have to be concerned. You have to be concerned with what Elon Musk is about to do. And let me just put up on the screen here, I'm going to show you some of the articles that are talking a lot about what he's doing. And here's one right now. Elon Musk's team now has access to Treasury's payment system. It says here, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent gave Mr. Musk's representatives at the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, what he calls his Doge, a powerful tool to monitor and potentially limit government spending. Yeah. He now has access to the Treasury's payment system. Here's another article from the Wall Street Journal. Doge gains access to payment system, doling out trillions of dollars to Americans. Here's another one. There are several reasons that Musk wants to control Treasury payments, and none of them are good. And this article, as you can see, is from MSNBC. It's an article that they have out there right now. And it's to me, it's frightening. It is potentially frightening for those folks out there who are depending on Social Security. And if you think that Elon Musk, and I'm sure there are a few out there who are going to think, well, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to be cutting Social Security or Medicare. Well, Elon Musk has pledged to reduce government spending substantially. And what better place to start, or at least to end up, but with Social Security and Medicare. Together in 2024, the expenditures for Social Security and Medicare accounted to 45% of all total government expenditures. All total of all the program expenditures. So if you think for a minute that Elon Musk isn't going to look at Social Security and Medicare, to look at it, the great disruptor, if you think he's not going to look at those numbers and look at how he can cut it, well, then I can sell you a bridge. And I'd be happy to do that if you think that could be true. And let me go back to this article for those folks who maybe just need a little bit more information on this. Let me go back to this article here. So here's what it says here. It says here, It's barely been 2 weeks, and I'll highlight this. This will help you maybe a little bit to see this. Hopefully, I know a lot of you, a good percentage of folks, watch my program on their phone. So hopefully, this can help you a little bit. But it says here it's been barely been 2 weeks, but Elon Musk's attempts to run the federal government like one of his businesses has already resulted in a level of chaos and inefficiency that we've never before seen in Washington. And it says earlier, I'll highlight this again, earlier this week, the White House took a page straight from out of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency's playbook and attempted to freeze federal funds for SNAP, Medicaid, and other programs working families rely on. And it says here it was a move that was so disastrous that the courts intervened and the administration had to reverse course. But Musk he's not one to give up, as we know. And of course, neither is our president, neither is Donald J. Trump. He is definitely not a person who's willing to give up. He knows what he wants and he goes for it. But here's the thing. The Treasury's payment system is responsible for delivering trillions of Social Security payments, Medicare payments, and more to millions of Americans across the country. And it's not yet clear, it says, and it isn't clear because they're not telling us what Musk is going to do now that he has access to the payments system. But it's not yet entirely clear what Musk plans to do with this system. But it does say a few possibilities emerge. First, according to, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight this as well, my friends, accessing the Treasury's payment system could be a path to freezing federal government spending, as the administration attempted to do earlier this week. Yeah, there are some serious implications here. There are serious implications here with a man who now has access, to the control of the Treasury payments. And I wouldn't doubt, and again, I'd sell you a bridge if you think that he is just going to leave this alone, because he's got the blessing of President Donald J. Trump to cut expenditures. So I'm expecting, and I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. But you can bet at some point he's going to turn his focus. Elon Musk is going to turn his focus to the Social Security and Medicare programs, just like he tried, and he has turned, and he will get back to turning his attention to some of the other government programs that he has attempted to cut. Now, how in the world can this person, this unelected and unaccountable billionaire, how could he dictate what working families can and cannot afford? How is he able to do this? Well, certainly, as I've said, he has the blessing of President Donald J. Trump to do it, and it will be done. So our attention now is being diverted. It's being diverted to the trade war, to the 25% tariff on Mexico, the 25% tariff on Canada, and of course the 10% tariff on China. It's diverted to that. But it's a temporary diversion because sooner or later, Elon Musk will turn his laser focus to Social Security and Medicare. And for all of us out there who are getting on this program, for all of us out there who are receiving payments every single month, for all of us who depend on this, it is very scary. Because certainly Elon Musk, he has no empathy for a person who lives paycheck to paycheck, or I should say Social Security payment to Social Security payment. I don't believe he has empathy for those folks. He hasn't demonstrated, at least not what I've seen. So we do have, and we should be concerned about the future of Social Security and Medicare. And again, it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. But we need, as people who receive these benefits, we need to turn our attention and watch what he's doing. And we need to let President Donald J. Trump know that this isn't okay, and it won't be okay. And yeah, we can do it through our elected officials. But it seems right now that many of those elected officials, certainly in the Republican Party, are following lockstep with what Donald J. Trump wants to do, which means also they're going to follow in lockstep with what Elon Musk wants to do. So that's all I've got for you. That's all I've got for you today. But pay attention to the real news story. The real news story, yes, it's the trade war. It's the tariffs. But the real news story is that Elon Musk now has access. He wants to control the Treasury payments. And my bet is he'll get that control. Well, if you've got any questions, I just would go ahead and ask you to send me a comment, make a comment on the video. You can go ahead and send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think, because there's a lot of news that's happening, and I'm going to try to do my best to keep you informed. So if you're inclined, subscribe to this channel. If you are inclined, also you can subscribe to my Side Hustle Rules YouTube channel. On that channel, what I do is I help folks who are looking to create a side income, and that's called Side Hustle Rules. Check it out and subscribe, again, if you are so inclined. Well, that's all I got for you today, as I said, and as I always say, have a great day, everybody.